you specifically alleged that Ms. Theriault usurped your creative control. I'm not asking you how that's reflected in the footage. I'm just asking you, please describe for me the incidents that occurred whereby
Plenty incidents.
that's what I...
Hold on.
You need to wait, please, till he's done.
I know.
I want to make an objection because the pleadings were written by attorneys, and if he understands the word usurp, I got no problem with him going with it. But my
Okay.
objection...
Did she interfere with your creative control?
Yes.
Okay. And there are plenty of instances of that?
Yes.
Okay. So will you please describe those instances to me?
Prior of me living for Mexico, she indicated that she wanted to meet my music expert because she wanted to bring her own music, basically. She wanted to add her own music to the project, all this weird sounds of drums and whistles, and I said, no, I don't agree with that. I was having a lot of problems and very difficult times. She was yelling at me on the phone and screaming at me, and I said, I need to remind you that the creative control of this project is mine, and you agree. So you need to just focus on what you need to do as a financier. Let me handle the picture.
And who was doing the music for the picture at that time? Did you have someone in place?
Yes, I had somebody in place who didn't want to get involved anymore until we resolved the issues between me and her.
Who was that?
I don't remember his name right now, but he's an Oscar winner music composer.
Okay. And did you ever hire that?
No, sir. We were in talks. I was in talks with him.
Okay. You were in talks with him when this project was stopped?
Before, no, sir. Before I went to Mexico.
Okay. And did you intend on continuing talks with him when you got back from Mexico?
No. He says to me, I see that there is a lot of turbulence between you and your financier. And turbulence are problems.
Did he talk to Ms. Theriault?
No.
Well, then how would he know there's
Because
turbulence?
I tell him that we have some problems. I said, I can't talk to you right now because I don't know what's going to happen with the project. He's a Scientologist man also. I said, I don't know what the situation is.
He's a Scientologist.
Yes. He's an Oscar winner music composer. And I said, I don't know.
You don't remember his name, though?
No, sir, I can get you the name, but I don't remember now.
Okay, will you get the name and give it to Mr. Diaz
Yes.
for me? Okay.
So I talked to his assistants, and I said, we have some serious issues right now, creative aspects issues. And she says, well, you know, when you finish, when you settle those issues, well, we can talk again. Not until then.
Okay. So, and when you told Ms. Theriault that you had creative control and that her ideas about music were not acceptable, did she agree with you?
She never agreed with me with anything. She was always fighting me even after the contract was signed. I remember the first day I arrived in Mexico City with the hard drives and footage. I mean, hard drives and film equipment, cameras. I was at the hotel. She was yelling and screaming at me up until 4 o'clock in the morning Mexico time, and telling me, literally just telling me, I don't give a fuck about the contract. I'm just referring to what she says on the phone. She says, I don't give a fuck about the contract, and I don't give a fuck about your creative control. I pay for this movie, and I have the creative control. And at that point, I said, I'm done. And I said with her, I told her, you know what?
That first day you were in Mexico, you said you're done.
I said to myself, I'm done.
Okay. So you concluded you were done the first day you were in Mexico?
4 o'clock in the morning, yes. I needed to catch my airplane at 6 o'clock in the morning from Mexico City to Campeche.
So you allege that she interfered with the music.
Not only the music.
Okay. Give me the other instances.
She says, I also want to include all these beautiful things about it, you know, how the Mayans apply their technology for, you know, enrich, you know, their aging process, and all these weird things about aging and keeping their skin so, you know, healthy and stuff. And then she started telling me, I know someone through George Lucas, who is gonna give us all these product placements, you know, for the film. I'm gonna put all these Rolls Royce and the sizzle reel to promote the film with Bentleys, Rolls Royce. And I said, what are you talking about? Bentleys and Rolls Royce. I said, are you out of your mind? I said, this is not a joke. This is a documentary. No, but I know these dealerships and I know the owners. And I said, please, don't make this more difficult. I just arrived here. Let me get this done. And I managed to calm her down at 4 o'clock in the morning. Until somebody got in the hotel room and knocked the door. I said, why are you screaming? I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm just having a difficult time. So, I hang up the phone. I managed to calm her down a little bit. I said, we'll talk about it later, but this is not gonna work.
What's not gonna work?
Having Bentley, sir, and Rolls Royce in the Mayan documentary.
Okay.
So,
and tell me another instance when she interfered with your creative
I took the
control.
plane to Mexico City at 6 o'clock in the morning. My assistants, Marisa Vianney, picked me up. We went to the airport, took the plane to Campeche. And then I got on the phone with her and I said, I just arrived in Campeche. I'm going to meet with the Secretary of Culture and the governor. We're going to go some other aspects, and I need to make sure, you know, the hotels and all the deals we have in place are, you know, everything is according to the plan. And she started telling me again, so when are you going to introduce me to this music producer? I said, are you going to start again with me? We just had a major problem, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I thought we'd resolve it. And she says, well, you know, we need to talk about this. I said, I understand. Why don't you just focus on just do what you know, what you're doing best right now.
What was that she was supposed to be?
The financier, sir. So I said, let me get to work. Then
So she wanted to meet the music?
She was insistent, and she wanted to meet this music composer, producer. And at that point, I already had so many flags from Mrs. Terry that all she wanted to meet was my relationships. And I knew her game, but I refused to accept it because I didn't have any other option, any other finance source available at the time in the short period of time. So I was just concentrated and not comply with anything else, and just to get all I wanted was to finish the movie. That's all I wanted.
So we've talked about the music again.
Yes.
You were going to Campeche. What was the other way in which she interfered with your creative
I was already...
With your creative...
control.
Can I go now?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay.
Please wait till the question's done, so I
So,
have a clean record. Thank
okay.
you.
So I'm already shooting in the jungles, and I have my director of photography shooting in a specific scene, me standing by the door with the lead archaeologist and director of INA, Ramon Carrasco. And she started telling Emiliano Chaparro, the director of photography, things. And I'm looking at Emiliano Chaparro. I said, why don't you shoot now? What are we waiting for? And then he says to me, come here. And then he says, let's take a little walk over here. I said, what's going on? He says, the lady, Elizabeth, is asking me to shoot the scenes in a certain way. I said, what is she asking you what? She's telling me and asking me if I can shoot the scenes in a certain way and doing like this and doing like that. I said, don't listen to her, please. She's here to create problems. Let's just get to this film. Let's just get it done, please. And I want to tell her, Elizabeth, we're going to shoot these scenes the way you want them. Just to keep her happy and not make the problem bigger, because I know her temperament. So I said, please, just let's do it. The director of photography agreed. He says, Raul, I think it's best we just do a couple of scenes for her and that's it. Just don't worry about it. Fine.
So you shot it the way she wanted it?
Yes,
shot?
sir.
Did you also shoot it the way you wanted it shot?
Yes, we shot it both ways.
Shot it both ways?
Yes, because I needed to keep a backup. We needed to keep a backup, you know, scenes, because I didn't like what she was indicating to the director of photography. So I wanted to have backups, scenes the way I picture that scene. So
And you had that available to you because you shot it the way you wanted it to. Correct?
correct.